for the future. But let's go, and I need to close the poll. However that is going to work out. We are getting ready for the pistol round between Flipside and Paranoia Esports. Poll close should be the right command. And of course the poll is closed. We are ready for the match. And Paranoia Esports on the CT side, they go for a 2-1-2 split. And the terrorists are going down the B halls. First they try to fake the B rush. Now they are going for a middle rush. And it looks like a warm going about that map, and now they are ending up on CT, on A short. Juhobi opens up the fragging with a headshot onto Relic, but Barsik and Sape make it a 4v3 again, and Dexu just tries to connect to a head, and he gets a headshot off. 3v3 evolving, but Jumpy now from the side ambushes Dexu, gets rid of the nuisance in pit on long, and it's back to a 2v3 situation. The CTs still have a chance of retaking the bomb site if they work together. They need to get rid of the first one at the platform, and Heaney gets a frag onto Sape. It's a 2v2 situation. Hydrox still needs to waste as much time as he can, and he doesn't even waste the time, he wastes the players. And Flipside Tactics come out on top of that pistol round on Dust 2. Paranoia Esports had a very hard task of keeping track where the terrorists are actually going, as Flipside Tactics was first headed towards the B bomb side with 5 players. They decided to go towards the middle area, and then they all hopped up onto short. So in the end they went to the A bomb side, and Paranoia Esports were kind of demolished by the terrorists that are just storming in there from short. So Paranoia Esports now needs to save, and they're going for some cheeky setups here. Dexu in a very risky position, but he's got a CZ75, always good for a few frags if you get yourself close enough to the guys. And on the other side we have the terrorists just taking their time, setting up their strategy, and just waiting for the CTs to push somewhere. Actually, that's not happening at all. The terrorists need to make their move to draw the CTs out, and Relic is trying to do that with his pistol. Obviously, he's one of the expendable players, as the rest of his squad is making their way towards the B bomb side. Relic is faking A, and now the showdown comes to the B bomb side. Heaney gets a frag onto Sape, 7 with a one onto Jumpy. Hydrox and Relic though equalize the score on the player count, and Hydrox takes one additional out, so it's a 2v3 situation. Hydrox down to 13 HP, and the CTs need to retake the B bomb site from the main entrance. And Jehobi is already peeking in there, and he catches a glimpse of Barsik. Barsik playing with his life there, keeps jumping up and down. But the CTs are actually now trying to set up for the exit frags. Actually, yeah, only Jehobi is setting up for an exit frag. Dexu wants to save the 2 flashes that he still has in his inventory. And Jehobi, well, doesn't get a frag. Flipside exit the bomb site without losing a single player, and it's 2-0. And let's take a look at the scoreboard to see who got the best of the fragging so far. Hydrox was lucky to meet 4 players in the save round and the pistol round, and he got himself the 4 frags. Not much to say about the other players so far. The CTs once again saving up, and Paranoia Esports being a little more aggressive right now. They are pushing the B hallways with 2 players. Heaney and 7 will be pushing in there, but Hydrox is there to shut down Heaney. Now he finishes off 7 as well, and Hydrox gets feeded every single round. He's now sitting at 6 frags, while Dexu and his teammate are kind of blocking themselves on A long. They almost got killed there, but now let's see if Jehobi is holding the bomb site alone. He got himself 2 frags onto Hydrox and Relic and made it a 3v3 on his own, but unluckily he couldn't reach a weapon. Now he gets killed by Barsik, and it's back to a 3v2 situation. Anfeli and Dexu about to retake the bomb site against the terrorists, and wow, Dexu still got a frag in there. Basic having a bit of trouble collecting the frag, but in the end he closed him out, and Flipside Tactics make it 3-0. And Hydrox with 2 frags in the past round, Basic with 3. Paranoia Esports now with the weapons in their hands, they need it, and they need to come back as soon as possible. Obviously Flipside is on the easier side, on the terrorist side on Dust 2, but you never know. The momentum swings over to one side and you never pick up a round anymore. So Paranoia Esports needs to watch out. If they give this round away to Flipside too easily, the Swedes will gain the momentum and they will gain the economical edge, and then it will be very hard for the CTs to claw their way back to a 9-6 scoreline if you go in for the standards on this too. And Flipside still taking their time. Now they are trying to get a grip on long, but they are exiting it one by one. Dexu gets 2 easy frags, and Feli now closes out Sape, who was pushing from short alone, and the rest of Flipside is separated from each other. Jumpy goes down to Jehobi's AWP, and now it's only Relic sitting at short, trying to recover from that awkward position he got himself in. Or basically his team got him in this situation. He's now alone, surrounded by not every CT, but he's got one in front, and if he wants to pick up the bomb, he would have 3 CTs up ahead against him. The time is running out though, and Relic won't do anything anymore. Paranoia is holding the bomb too nicely. And Relic keeps his nades. They are not looking for the frag. Paranoia Esports aren't stacked on the money side, so they rather keep their own weapons instead of getting rid of an AK that is perfectly affordable for the terrorists. And the Finns close the gap a little bit to the Swedes, and a forced by the Swedes already. Basic not holding a rifle, while Jumpy has got the AWP in his hands again. Jehobi, his counterpart on the CT side, already took him out once in long. And let's see, Jehobi almost took himself out there on short. And Flipside is stacking lower B tunnels. I'm not quite sure if they just going for a head-on mid-rush, or if they have something special in mind there. Look at them. 5 players stacked in middle. Now Jumpy is entering the B tunnels, and the rest is flushing out into middle. The CTs are not there. Safe gets a first one, but Fali got himself one as well. And the B bomb site is captured by the terrorists, but they have lost the bomb in the process, so they need to get back to pick up the bomb. And then Fali is trying to get a frag through the smoke, but he's not really lucky right now. Flipside plant the bomb at B, and Paranoia Esports trying to retake that bomb site with 3 players. I can't really see it happen. And I think Paranoia Esports is going for the save right now. They're just pulling out their players again. And Feli was really eager to pick up a frag in middle there, but he was forced away by his teammates, who were calling him to get too long and save his weapon together with his teammates. Now Flipside storming or swarming the map, looking for the weapons, but they are not too eagerly looking for the frags right now. Jumpy and Sape stopped looking for the weapons even before the timer ran out. And Flipside back on track with a 4-1 scoreline. Paranoia Esports got one back. They are happy to stay alive with 3 weapons, so they can afford the buy. But they will be running out of money really soon again. And Flipside Tactic, with that really slow setup, they did a good job of keeping the CTs on their heels. And Paranoia Esports wasn't able to control the bomb sites. Now Enfeli gets the first one onto Hydrox on long, and he looks like he could maintain control of long as well, so the CTs are kind of relieved a little bit. But just for now, they have pulled 7 into middle to cover that a little bit more, as Jehobi is AWPing into B tunnels. The terrorists are making their way towards A short, and now they get flamed off. And they need to stop for a few more seconds. This is really stalling the terrorist attempt to take the A bomb site, as Jumpy is inching forward for the AWP opening frag on the platform. There are no CTs left right now. He will get pushed from below. Dexu is now giving away his position with a flash, but the rest of the terrorists are already storming in. Safe gets a frag onto Heenan. Now it's all open on the A bomb site. Basic needs to get the bomb down before the smoke goes away, and Feli is right there on long, and he would have had a really nice shot at the bomb planter. The bomb gets planted at A, and it's a 3v4 retake situation. Paranoia Esports needs to hurry up a little bit. Even though they have the defuse kits, they don't have that time to spend. Jumpy gets a frag onto Enfeli. Now Dexu moves up to the AWP player. He gets a first frag and the second as well. 7 was in there in the mix. And Paranoia Esports retake the bomb site in an instant. Dexu and 7 take out 3 players, and Flipside Tactics give away their second round to the CTs of the Finnish squad Paranoia. And the terrorists are running out of money now. Even though they planted the bomb, they have given away too many frags in the save rounds. And now that is coming to hunt them in the end. But Hydrox and Basic are coming to hunt Dexu and Enfeli. They take him down instantly, and the A bomb site is completely open. The terrorists just need to run down the A long route and just plant the bomb, but they are taking the time smoking up CT short, which was a good decision. Jehobi would have taken out at least one of their members if they had crossed without smoke. Now the CTs are trying to rotate the players into short and CT spawn to have the possibility of retaking the bomb site. Basic is down to 8 HP. Hine on the other side is down to 8 HP as well. So it's a 4v3 situation with 2 almost dead players. And Paranoia Esports is still going for that. They don't want to let Flipside run away with the scoreline, but Relic, Jumpy and Basic get a frag each and just close that round out really fast. Paranoia Esports had no chance without smoking up a long. They couldn't really retake the bomb site anymore, as Flipside Tactics had 1 or 2 players in there to cover their teammates on the A platform. So Paranoia Esports back to saving, and Flipside are slowly gaining momentum again. Let's see how many rounds the CTs have won and when they did it. And yeah, you can see yourself, it's not that much on the board for Paranoia right now. And they give away the first frag to the hands of Jumpy once again. Flipside starting off nicer into the round. And then Feli with cheeky play on long, he tried to get himself a frag out of there, but Flipside was taking care of each other. They covered each other really nicely. Daxon now got the headshot onto Sape, who was jumping around madly, but in the end Flipside was taking a long, and now they are forcing Jehobi down into CT spawn. He still wants to get a frag out of there. He exposes himself greatly to the terrorist, but Basic now takes out his teammate, and Jehobi is all alone. He's still hopping up onto the platform trying to get an additional frag out of there. But actually the terrorists are just trying to hunt him down. They're all spraying at him already, and he makes the mistake of jumping back into CT spawn. Relic is there to close him out, and Flipside Tactics make it 6-2 and show they have not too many problems of taking out the CT defenses right now. Paranoia Esports need to think of something differently to catch the terrorists off their heels. get themselves a winning streak going there on the CT side. 7 though goes down to just 54 HP while he was crossing B tunnels. While he was crossing towards B, Jumpy got a headshot, or not a headshot, a leg shot off through the door. And Flipside Tactics is trying to capitalize on that hit. They know that one of the B players is low on HP, and Jehobi now reinforces his teammates with 2 nice shots. He takes out Barsik and Safe and makes it a 3v5 situation. Now Hydrox with a nade takes out Jehobi with another frag. He takes out 7 and Hine answers back. Hine is still in the bomb site. He takes out Hydrox and it's a 1v3 situation. Jumpy moving in with the AWP. He's still refusing to give up on that round, but then Hine is there with his 3rd frag of the round. And he saves the AWP as well. Great job by the CT player, or basically by Jehobi and Hine in the B bomb site. Jehobi with the all-important opening 2 frags when the terrorists were exiting from middle. And then Hine just needed to stay alive and make it hard for the terrorists to find him, so he could pick up 3 frags in the process. And Paranoia Esports finally getting another round on the board, 6-3, and 6 more rounds on the board to play. The Swedes are once again trying to set up an A fake while they have 3 players in the B tunnels. And the CTs go with a very basic setup, 3 at A, 2 at B. Nothing on the account of having a 1-1-3 split maybe, or a different setup at long. They are always going for the same right now. And so far it didn't work out too good, but Dexu now makes it work out. Sabe got the refrag in the meantime, but Dexu got 2. And now Jumpy on the other bomb side on B, he took out one of the CTs and made it a 3v3 again. He's now moving in to plant the bomb as well, while his teammates are staying back and trying to cover him. The CTs are moving in, and they are on the doorstep of the B bomb site already. Hydrox in B tunnels already, covering his teammates from behind, and at the same time he's the key positional player. Relic though gets a first frag onto Anfeli and another one onto 7, and Jumpy takes out Dexu. And Flipside once again sealed the B bomb site for the CTs, and they had no chance at all of retaking that bomb site, even though it was a 3v3 situation. The Finns just can't break through that after planned positioning by Flipside, and that's what the Swedes are really strong at right now. So Paranoia needs to prevent the Swedes from planting the bomb. You know, there are some teams that don't care too much about the bomb plant, but go for the retake positions right away. If they know that the bomb site is more or less lost, then they just try to get away alive and try to set up a retake already, even though the bomb is not planted yet. And on the other side we have teams, for example like Paranoia, that should stick to the strong defense and try to really keep the terrorists out of the bomb site. Right now Paranoia Esports can't do either of the 2 things. They can't keep Flipside out of the bomb site, and if Flipside have captured the bomb site, they can't retake it anymore. And they can't upset the Swedes in the save rounds, so Paranoia Esports lose 4 players already. Now it's only 7 with 25 HP. He's trying to get an additional frag out of that round, but Relic has him pinned down in middle and takes him out with a nice aiming headshot. Flipside Tactics make it 8-3, and they are looking really good right now. If they win 1 out of the remaining 3 rounds, they will be very happy with the scoreline. If they win more than 1 round out of the 3 remaining rounds, they will be in a very good position to win that game. And Paranoia Esports now need to do something about that. And then Feli with a nice early push there on long. Jehobi at the same time on B. He's taken out 2 in the tunnels. No, actually it was only 1, but 7 got 1 and the second one to follow it up. Now it's only Jumpy left alive. in A long, and he's already spotted by Anfeli, and a nade gets thrown at him as well. A nice lob there by Anfeli to take out Jumpy. And the AWP is saved once again. Paranoia Esports take another round. Right at that moment when I try to say why they can't win rounds, they decide to step it up a little bit and actually win it. And maybe this aggression on A long and on B tunnels at the same time was throwing off Flipside's momentum a little bit. Let's see if Paranoia is going for some different strategies right now, and they have stacked 3 CTs on the B bomb side, and 7 just keeps spraying away. Johobi and Hine finish the deal, and Paranoia Esports have no trouble at all of taking out that Flipside B rush. There was not much that Flipside Tactics did to actually overwhelm the CTs. They just ran through the smoke. 7 with nice M4 control took out 3, and Heen and Johobi just needed to pick up 1 to finish off the round, and Paranoia Esports string 2 rounds together and force the terrorists to save. So this is the chance for the Finns to come back into the game and make it 8-6. But the terrorists are headed towards A long, and they have a 5-man stack over there, and Fally needs to stand tall and he needs to reload now. He's flashed at the same time. He calls for backup already. And Dexu is there chiming in with a headshot. Nice work by Anfeli to not only get 3 frags in the round, but stay alive at the same time. And keep the patience to wait for his teammates to support him. And he wasn't overextending to get those frags. He was patiently waiting for his teammates to draw the attention away a little bit. And then he got 2 additional frags in the end. Flipside now with the next buy round, and you can see on the scoreboard Dexter with 12 frags and Feli with 9. On the other side we have 10 for Hydrox and 9 for Barsik. And Feli once again pushing into A long, and he's now expected by Hydrox, but the smoke covered him enough so he could get the frag onto Hydrox, makes it a 5v4, and the terrorists are actually trying to go for a fast A short push. Now they reconsidered their strategy and they're going back to the middle. The CTs still have 3 players over at A, and the partial rotator 7 is on the verge of rotating towards middle. So the terrorists really need to watch out. If they lose another player, it could get really awkward for them. They need to open up one of the bomb sites and then maybe try to fake it even. But they are running out of time at the same time. 35 seconds left on the clock. Paranoia Esports just need to hold on a few more seconds. Johobi gets a frag, but Barsik with the refrag, and Barsik with another nice shot there onto Johobi. Barsik with another one onto Dexu. He completely dismembers the CT's defense with 3 frags, and he now picks up the bomb as well. Tries to flash himself out, but completely missed that flash. 15 seconds left on the clock, and he gets a bomb planted as well. And now he needs to get 2 additional frags. He gets Heened, but 7 takes him out and makes it a 1v1. Relic against 7, and 7 does not know where Relic is. And Barsik even took the time to plant for his teammate at long. Relic is already checking out the bomb site, while 7 is trying to find an angle where he can defuse the bomb without being seen. He goes for a flash, but Relic obviously turns away. Now Relic overextends a little bit. 7 still has a possibility to defuse the bomb, and he's on the defuse! Oh my god, Relic just got the headshot off when it was about to be finished. The defuse gets aborted by the headshot, and Flipside Tactics make it 9-6. I really quickly have to reconnect to the game because my CSGO decides to shut itself down, as you can hear on the remix. Listen to that. But yeah, Flipside Tactics make it 9-6 and go for the standard scoreline that we all more or less expect on this too. But they got almost upset by their opponents. And we will join the game real quick again. So I am Boo. I'm from Germany. If you can hear that, I'm sorry for that. I'm working on the accent. I'm from Munich and I'm 25 years old. and I welcome you to the stream. Of course, you can follow me wherever you want, for example on Twitter, Facebook, and here on Twitch. And we're just in time for the pissed round on the second half here. Flipside against Paranoia Esports in the ESEA Season 16 Intermediate Playoff Finals. And it is a best of one. And Hine and Jumpy already exchanged frags on that pissed round. Let's get the radar on as well. And Paranoia Esports go for a weapon round like strategy. They have one in B tunnels and the rest was pushing A long. Relic now takes out the guy in B tunnels and Dexu takes out one at the A bomb site. It's a 3v3 again. Now it's a 2v3 thanks to the frag of Anfeli, but Barsic still pushing in with only 1 HP. He goes down in the end and it's only Relic left to retake the bomb site. He needs 2 more, but he doesn't get a single one. Anfeli takes him out. And despite Relic's 2k round, Flipside was not able to get a grip on the bomb site again. Paranoia Esports get the pistol round on the terrorist side, and it was very important for them to do that and close the scoreline to 9-7 and potentially even draw it if they convert every round. But look at the map. Flipside Tactics is going for a 5-man B train, but at the CT side it's very unusual to see that. Sape gets 2 frags out of there, so that actually paid off for the CTs. In my opinion, they could have gotten 2 more frags maybe on Hine and Dexu, and suddenly Flipside would have won that round. So Paranoia Esports needs to watch out. The Swedes have some cheeky strategies in mind for them, and they really want to win that match, and they just showed us in the pistol round. Paranoia now spraying through the door. Barsic is down to 47 HP. Great spray there for the Finns. And this time Hine is watching out. He's covering the B tunnels, and Flipside is going for a 5-man stack once again. They're now pushing in there, and Hine is there to collect a headshot onto Jumpy. Now tosses a nade at 3 CTs that are all pushing in. He just pulls the trigger, gets 2 additional frags, and now he's pushed by 2 more, so he needs to watch out. He's all alone at the moment. Now he can hide away. His teammate is there to cover him. It is 7 who is preventing the CTs from pushing their teammate. Hydrox still gets a frag. Somehow he bent the bullet through or around the corner. As 7 was taken outside, Hydrox got himself the AK and he's trying to run away with that, but obviously the terrorists are trying to cut his way. And they are already firing onto him. He's down to 44 HP and there comes the nade. Jehobi with the frag, and Paranoia Esports make it 9-9 by only losing 1 player in the save round. They are slowly building up momentum on the money side as well, as Flipside just is able to afford their first weapon round. They put an AWP in the hands of Jumpy, and he is headed towards the B bomb site all alone, while 1 CT is pushing B tunnels, and it is Barsic who went huge already for the Swedes. Let's see if he can push out and get himself a frag. Relic goes down. He was his support player, and now he needs to worry about 2 different directions. He spots Hine already, now gets a frag, now pushes out, gets another nice frag onto 7 and his 3rd of the round on the Jehobi. Great stuff by Barsic to ambush the terrorist like that in middle, and he gets Paranoia Esports back on the back foot. While he gets killed by Anfeli from behind. He was pushing through the smoke. Barsic thought the wall of smoke will help him maintain the control of the middle area. But Anfeli decided, you know, it's just smoke. I can walk through that. It's not a wall. And if I'm lucky, you won't watch it while I'm exiting the smoke. And that's exactly what happened. Anfeli got rid of Barsic. And now the terrorists are making their way towards the B bomb site. Jumpy with a nice shot while he was jumping onto Dexu. Sabe with the instant recovering of the bomb site. And Feli doesn't even get to the platform. And great work by Flipside, reinforcing themselves and helping each other out. Relic gave his life away for Basic's 3k. Obviously that's something that makes you kind of go if you see your teammate pick up 3 frags after you went down in middle. But it helped his teammate and his team to pick up the 10th round and win the first weapon round in the second half. So Paranoia Esports are not taking the lead just yet. Hydrox down to 22 HP already. But he's at A platform, so he should be safe for now. His teammates are checking out A long, while the terrorists are still repositioning themselves. And it looks like they want to get an A split going, with maybe even a B fake. But Barsik is there to kind of throw a stick between Anfeli's legs, and he hit the door really hard. Goes down to that, and it's a 4v5 situation. Now the CT's on top of the terrace once again. But Sabe is the next player to watch. He's in pit and long, and the 3 terrorists are pushing him. He gets flashed repeatedly, so he needs to watch out to not go down. But Jumpy is there to cover him as well. Sabe gets another frag from pit, as he was luckily having vision on the terrorists. And now it's only Juhobi in A long. His teammate is on A platform. The CTs need to watch out if he goes huge. Juhobi still keeps the CTs busy, and Sabe goes down to Juhobi's AWP. Now the CTs really need to watch out, as they've got Hine right in the middle between them, but Barsik takes him out. Juhobi in a 1v2 situation with the AWP. He's waiting for the CTs to show themselves. And the first one shows himself, the second one can't finish off the shot. Juhobi gets a frag onto Relic as the time is running out. He can't finish off Barsik anymore. Flipside Tactics come out on top of that really close round that Paranoia Esports refused to give away. Even though they were down in a 2v4 situation, Juhobi and Hine were working together. And they did a great job, especially Juhobi taking out 3 frags in the end. But that doesn't help Paranoia. In the end, they are saving up again, and they have 5 players with Glocks, and Relic almost aces them. He gets 3, Barsik with 2 on the B bomb side. Flipside Tactics make it 12-9, and now everything looks better for the Swedes. 3 rounds between them, and Paranoia Esports looks relieving, at least from my perspective. But Paranoia Esports is on the terrorist side, so they can come back from whatever scoreline they want to. Terrorist side is made to be like that on Dust. If you get the information and you get the early frags, the CTs really can only stop you if they are 1 level above you. And in my opinion, Paranoia Esports and Flipside are on the same level. But well, Relic is just stepping it up. He was waiting in the smoke for half the round and just got out to get his 1 frag. In the end, he got refragged instantly, but the Flames were doing the rest of his job. And Feli and Hine go down, and it's a 3v4 situation in favor of the CTs. And they are trying to gather information by throwing a few nades into middle, but nothing connects for now. Jumpy needs to watch out. He will get pushed by 2 terrorists, and he's flashed away. He now peeks out at the right moment, takes out 7, and makes it a 4v2 situation. Juhobi and Dexu standing for the terrorists. Paranoia Esports needs them to save the day, and actually Dexu connects to 2 CTs. Nice headshot onto Barsik, and following up with a spray onto Jumpy. He makes it a 2v2 again. The CT is on the doorstep of the B-bomb site, but they refuse to retake it just now. Sabe is waiting for Hydrox to get himself into B tunnels, and now they want to claw the terrorists in between the 2 CTs. Sabe gets a first frag onto Juhobi, who was pushing out of the bomb site. Now Dexu needs to go huge, but Sabe actually gets the headshot while Dexu was flashed and just was waving around his mouse to collect a few sprays or even a lucky headshot. But in the end, he didn't connect at all, and Flipside Tactics make it 13-9. Paranoia Esports almost got back again from that 5v2 situation. Once again though, Flipside closed them out in the last moments and came out on top again. Let's see if 7 is able to step it up, and he takes out Jumpy in middle. Great start for Paranoia, even though Johobi goes down to 33 HP on long. It's still better to have a player dead on the other side and have one low teammate than the other way around. Paranoia Esports goes for a short stack. They have 4 players pushing out there. Hine gets a frag onto Basic, even though he had some trouble. The CTs are now pushed away, but Sabe refuses to give up the bomb site. He's standing there with 3 HP. He still works and gets 2 frags and even pulls out his C-75 to have the possibility of taking out Feli there on the bomb site. And then Feli is shooting away onto his teammate. He almost took him out. Now Hydrox pushing in from long as Dexu took out Relic. Hydrox is now all alone and he still needs to cross towards the bomb site, and there goes Johobi with a headshot. He closes it out. Paranoia Esports finally back with a round on the board. And they close the gap to 3 rounds, and the CTs are struggling on the money already. They have 6k on Hydrox and 4k on Jumpy, and they decide to save. So Paranoia Esports actually made the CTs pay so much by always drawing it back from a 4v2 situation that Flipside needs to save after giving away only 1 round. Now Paranoia Esports needs to capitalize on that. They desperately need that round. They need to make it 13-11, and Johobi avoids the ambush by the CTs by taking out Jumpy, and then he retreats into terrorist spawn. He's covered by his teammate 7 as well, so the CTs can't get a refrag out of that situation, and the terrorists are now capturing the B bomb site. There is actually nobody in there. 4 players are now entering, and they will plant the bomb in a second, as 7 is still waiting for the A long pushes. And there comes Hydrox, goes down to AK fire by 7, and 7 now takes over covering of the middle area, and a nice headshot there onto Basic. It's only Relic standing for the CTs, and he is slowly pushing forward to get rid of that AK, but 7 gets his 3rd, and actually that position by 7 was really great, and he played it really good. But let's take a look at the scoreboard. We've seen Basic doing great throughout the match. He got himself at a 21 scoreline. On the other side we have a pretty leveled Paranoia Esports with 18-17 frags on Dexu and Feli and Hine. And Paranoia Esports now needs everyone to stay on that level of play and keep racking up frags. Johobi is certainly stepping it up a little notch. He really made himself shine in the past rounds, and he took out Relic for the first frag of the round. Paranoia Esports is now going for the short push once again. They have 5 players over there, and they are all storming out onto the A platform. They are smoking and flashing everything, and Feli gets a frag onto Sabe straight away. This time there is no second effort by Sabe with the CZ75. He gets killed right away, and Feli with another spray down onto Basic, even though he was fully flashed. The CTs get flushed out of the A bomb site. Hydrox and Jumpy still alive, but they rather stick to their weapons than to try and defuse that bomb that is covered by 5 terrorists. And Paranoia Esports clawing their way back into the bomb, into the match. And Johobi just has spotted the head. He's not going for the frag though. Jumpy gets a frag there onto Dexu. And Hydrox still trying to stay alive against Johobi, who's got him pinned down. And Johobi just saw it again, but he couldn't hit the shot. And actually goes down to the bomb. Johobi throwing away that AWP. And Paranoia Esports with some awkward weapon play throw away a very important weapon in the hands of Johobi, and he needs to rebuy that for $5,500. Paranoia Esports damaged themselves a little bit, but no harm, no fail. Let's see where this round is going to take them. 3 FAMASs in the hands of the CTs will make the job easier for the terrorists, that's for certain. But Jumpy with an AWP will try to make it as hard as possible. And he already scoped up into middle. He saw one, but then got sprayed at and needs to retreat. Paranoia Esports just holding middle and having one player control long, one player tunnels. Nothing special by Paranoia Esports this time, except for that nade by Juhobi. He really needs to work on that. And Barsik with the FAMAS with an easy frag onto Juhobi, but 7 with the instant equalizer. Nice headshot there. It's a 4v4 again, but Juhobi shouldn't have given away that first frag. To be honest, Sape though should have picked up a double kill in this situation in middle. He goes down though, and Relic needs to recover from that. He gets a frag onto 7, but then Feli with the refrag. Now it's a 3v2 situation. 2 players at A for the CTs and 3 players at B for the terrorists. This looks very grim for Flipside Tactics. They're not going for the retake, they rather stay with their weapons. And they really can't afford to throw those 2 weapons away anymore. Paranoia Esports will draw that game onto a 13-13 scoreline. Once again, I am blessed with a very interesting matchup between the Swedish team of Flipside and Paranoia Esports on the Finnish flag on the terrorist side right now. And Jumpy takes out Anfeli, who was trying to... I'm not really sure what he was trying to do. It's rather obvious that nobody's hanging around in middle. And if you exit the bomb site through the main entrance, when you know there's an AWP on the other side of the team that's probably saving in CT spawn, I'm not quite sure what Anfeli was planning to do there with his AK jumping around the middle. Maybe he just wanted to feel to make Jumpy feel happy for the frag. But well, maybe I should talk about that with him after that match. Now we have another force by the CTs, a Max 7 in Relic's hands. Sape still with a FAMAS. And the all-important 12th round in the second half. 13-13 the scoreline. And Paranoia Esports with a chance to force the CTs onto a save, and then they could make it 15-13, but Jumpy is trying to do his best to prevent that from happening. Hine goes down, but Juhobi with the AWP gets a frag onto Barsik. The scope players are trading blows, back and forth it goes, it's a 4v4. And Sape on close quarter, he gets a shot off onto Juhobi. Unluckily the bomb stays up on top of that ledge, but he gets another headshot off onto 7. Dexu and Anfeli recover, and Jumpy makes it a 2v1 again in favor of the CTs. Hydrox and Jumpy need to hold on to the A bomb site or recover control of that, as Anfeli was just planting the bomb over there. Jumpy is rotating to his teammate, and he gets flashed in to take a peek onto the A platform, and he shows himself, and Feli shows himself, and Jumpy takes him out with a nice shot. Jumpy prevails in that round and takes out 3 very important shots for him at Flipside, and he makes it 14-13 in favor of the Swedish side. And Paranoia Esports need to win the next one, otherwise, well, okay, they can give away that potentially, but they would have a really awkward force buy if they would lose this round. So it's all or nothing for Paranoia Esports. Hine obviously needs a drop, and he receives an AK. So 1 AWP in the hands of either team, and a full buy by those CTs and the terrorists. Equal chances for the 2 teams. Let's see who comes out on top of that. Flipside Tactics already shuffling their players around like madmen on the B bomb side. They're not quite sure how to cover that at the moment. They have 2 players stacked in middle and 1 at B, while only Safe and Hydrox are holding the A bomb side. And Paranoia Esports is doing the standard setup once again. They're going for 1 covering the B tunnels, 1 is covering A long, and 3 are working on middle. And Juhobi now takes point with the AWP. Once again, nobody's taking the peek for him. He pushes out as the first player, and Barsik kills him straight away. No recovering fire from the terrorists. They just give away that frag and turn away. Say, okay, we've lost a player. Let's see if we can capture the B bomb site. And actually, Hine got himself in there already. He got himself the frag as well, but Barsik once again being the stopping guy for the CTs, and he gets his 3rd as well. Dexu though refuses to give that round away, and 7 finishes off Jumpy, who was in the back of the bomb site, and makes it a 1v1 again. Hydrox and 7 going head to head, and 7 is not planting the bomb right now. He's just planning to do that right now. Hydrox is still moving in, and he's really close already. 7 against Hydrox, and 7 is hiding away at the back of the bomb site while Hydrox is pushing in through the main gate. And he shows his head. Hydrox gets the headshot off onto 7, and Flipside make it 15-13. 7 was unlucky to be in that situation, to have all the weight of his team on his shoulders, and Hydrox actually had the better position after the plant, and unluckily no nades for the terrorists. So Paranoia Esports need to win the 2 remaining rounds, otherwise Flipside Tactics will be crowned the champions of the ESEA Season 16 Intermediate Playoffs. And the Finns are trying their best to do that and to prevent the Swedes from taking that crown. Relic goes down to 7. And double AWP by the terrorists definitely paid off so far. But Jehobi only with a pistol in his hands. He's probably trying to stay away from the action and just pick up a rifle if any get dropped, while his teammates need to do the work. Everybody stacked up in middle. Jehobi now peeks out into middle. There's nobody there. He probably calls that for his teammates, and they're reinforcing him. And Feli gets a frag onto Basic as well. Jumpy all alone in the B bomb site. He gets swarmed from every direction. Jehobi takes him out with a picked up M4A1, and Feli closes out Sape in middle, and it's all on Hydrox. A 1v5 situation, and he's on A long. He's sneaking away, and I highly doubt he will make it in time. Dexu already moving in, and Hydrox must have heard him. Hydrox spraying away and still not gets a frag. Dexu with the AK, and a flawless round by Paranoia Esports to get them right back on track. And this is really heartbreaking. If Paranoia Esports lose that round, they are only 2nd place, even though they had a really good effort in the last few rounds. And this is how the match unfolded so far in the 2nd half. Let's see if Feli gets the opening pick. Flipside Tactics on a save round, and Paranoia Esports just need to pick that up. It's lying on the floor. They just need to pick it up. And Basic is there with the P250. He closes out Jehobi to open up the round. 7 goes down as well to Sape's double leads. And it's a 5v3 situation in favor of the CTs that were just on a save round. Sape picked himself up an M4A1. And he reinforces teammates now with a rifle. And even though the terrorists have captured the A bomb site, the bomb is lying in between the CTs, and they are all bunching up on that. Relic gets a frag onto Hine, and Dexter now from afar tries to pick off the CTs that are still swarming around the bomb. And Feli with the AWP comes in from short. He gets a headshot onto Hydrox, but there's one CT dancing back and forth. He was smoked himself up. The CTs are hanging on to that round. They picked up 2 additional rifles, 1 AWP that just got taken out by Dexu, and 1 M4A4 in the hands of Jumpy. It's a 3v2 situation, and the terrorists are still working. It's 28 seconds on the clock, so plenty of time for the T's to take out the CTs, but Sape and Relic decide to close it out right now and make it 16-14 in favor of Flipside, and they win it with a save round. And